Hello and welcome back to the RDA. It's your boy Triple M with another 5 things we've learnt about Manchester United this week. This is an integration of the Newcastle game as well as the PSG game, so do stick around and let's get into it, man. Starting with number one. United is we can win difficult games without the players that we typically think are our best and are undroppable. Bruno Fernandes, probably undroppable at the moment, but if you stick Donny van de Beek into that team, we'd probably still win that game. I'm not saying the leadership qualities of Bruno Fernandes aren't massive for Manchester United, and I am a huge Bruno Fernandes fan, so I obviously personally wouldn't have dropped him, but I think Donny van de Beek is knocking on that door, and I think he can definitely do the job that Bruno is doing at the moment. I think people are sleeping on van de Beek, but it's fashionable to love Bruno Fernandes, and I've got no. The second thing that we have learned, our best players or players that we consider to be undroppable, who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has dropped in the last few games, have responded well. I'm talking about the likes of Paul Pogba. Usually when he gets dropped, you have question marks around his confidence, question marks around his commitment to the team, question marks around his attitude. While I think that is not a problem with Paul Pogba at the moment, I think he definitely is suffering from match fitness, but he has come on in the Newcastle game. I don't think his impact was as big as the Pogba FC fans are making it out to be. I think Van de Beek had a much bigger impact. But hey, Paul Pogba did have an impact nevertheless. He created 3 chances when he came on in the PSG game in a short span of time. So I think Paul Pogba has responded quite well. Donny van de Beek, a lot of people think he should be starting. He has every right at the moment to be upset. But what does he do? He puts his head down, he comes onto the field, he has a positive attitude, he has the right mindset, and he has the skill, talent, and football IQ to back it up, and he makes such a huge impact when he comes on. Thing number 3 that we have learned, and this is not really anything new, but this is more for the Ollie outers, not all the Ollie outers. If you don't like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and question his tactics, cool, good for you, bro. I'm not going to step on your opinion. But for those of you who say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no plan, I think you've been proven wrong. Against PSG, he played a back 5. Against Man City, last season, he played a back 5 on 3 out of 4 occasions and came out the better side. Against Chelsea, he played a back 5 and came out the better side. Yes, he lost at Wembley in the FA Cup, but we actually beat Chelsea 3 times out of 4 last season. Against Tottenham, I'm pretty sure he played a back 5 and we ended up beating Jose Mourinho 2-1. Yes, they destroyed us and they absolutely battered us this season and they deserve to win. But my point is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer clearly has a tactical philosophy and some sort of tactical nous, because to beat PSG at the highest level in the league is a magnificent result. And I know what people will say. They didn't have their best team. We didn't sign a centre-back. We literally played a centre-back who has not played in a year. Lindelof has been in poor form. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been in poor form. Alex Telles wasn't even fit enough to play the full 90 minutes, and he still started. There's been question marks over De Gea's form. There's been question marks over McTominay's form. There's been question marks over Fred's form. Marcus Rashford didn't play particularly well with his final ball. He was good at exploiting the defense, but his final ball wasn't that great. His final product wasn't that great. So if he doesn't score that worldie, that game ends 1-1. And Martial recently came back from a red card, so he has a bit of a mentality issue at the moment. I'm sure that would have had an effect on him. He's obviously going to be feeling much better now that we beat Paris. So to all the PSG fans or anyone who says that PSG, that wasn't their best team and they weren't playing well, mate, honestly, that isn't our problem. It's not our problem that they didn't play well 12 months ago when we beat them 3-1 in that famous night in Paris, and it isn't our problem that they didn't play well today. Manchester United haven't played particularly well in certain games and have still won. The trademark of championship winning sides or teams that are the best in the world, that get recognized as the best in the world, is the fact that they get to win. They win games that they aren't playing particularly well in. The fact that Neymar and Mbappe could not penetrate Manchester United's defense enough to get a goal in open play says a lot. I mean, the 4th thing we have learned, Juan Mata, he's still got it. When Juan Mata plays with the better players, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, the likes of Paul Pogba, the likes of Fred, when he plays into what we consider our traditional first team, or a team that has a good shape, a good plan, and is actually playing well and playing for the manager, he's actually a bad of a player. I had completely written Juan Mata off. I still don't think he is a long-term solution to the problem, and it's not his fault, but his intelligence, his experience, and his decision-making, as well as his creativity from that right-hand side, to me suggests that the right-wing problem, we might have found a short-term solution to it. Really, really, and truly. I obviously will never forgive this board for not getting Jadon Sancho, because I still think we need a right winger who will command that position and play at the highest level. And I don't know if Juan Mata can do that. But in the small games like Newcastle, the Brightons, the Crystal Palaces, all these mid-table teams, when we don't particularly have Greenwood and Rashford playing at the peak levels of form that they're playing at, I don't mind Juan Mata starting. And actually, there is an argument to be made that Juan Mata should start ahead of Mason Greenwood anyways, because of the disciplinary issues he's had off the field, as well as the fact that on the field he hasn't been particularly productive. And Juan Mata apparently helps the team shape a lot more, which I believe, because he is more of a traditional right winger than Mason Greenwood is. He does drift in a lot, but the key thing with Juan Mata is when he drifts in, it's usually to penetrate the opposition and create chances, not to go and try score his own goal. Whereas with Mason Greenwood, when Mason Greenwood drifts in, much like Marcus Rashford, he's looking to take a shot. And I don't mind that. But if it's happening from both sides, then we lack the creativity to create chances for our striker. And in particular, to break down teams consistently enough to finally get that breakthrough. You know, sometimes when you're not playing particularly well and your final product isn't great, you just got to keep knocking on the door, and eventually one of them's bound to end up in the back of the net. But if you're not creating a certain type of chance, which Rashford and Mason Greenwood just don't really, then it isn't that conducive. I mean, the amount of crosses that Alex Telles had in that game and the amount of chances that Juan Mata created for Newcastle, I think is a very very positive thing. So we have someone on the right hand side who can create, and we have someone, albeit a left back, he can push up and play as a left wing back on the left hand side to create the problems. So, you know, I think it's very interesting. Anyways, that was a bit of a mouthful. The fifth thing we have learned is that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been struggling with problems off the field, and that might have contributed to his performance post-lockdown. Obviously, I'm not going to get into the story because there's all these rumors floating around in social media about him and a particular mistress he was involved with. Look, I'm not going to judge a player based off what he does off the field too harshly. I have gone in on Mason Greenwood for being immature, but that is an honest assessment of the player. That is not me taking shots at Mason Greenwood. He is immature because he is a young player. That's what you expect from young players. And I would say the same about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's still young. He's still got to learn that at Manchester United, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and so the media attention can hurt your career if you're not careful. But if he can rectify that, put his head down, graft hard, get the right mindset, get the right attitude, and get back into form for Manchester United, kudos. Whatever you do off the field, you know, it's none of my business as a fan personally. I'm not one of those fans that holds things against players as long as it's not illegal and it doesn't cause any harm to someone. I'm not going to against you. Grealish broke lockdown rules. It is what it is. As long as he performs on the pitch, that is what we judge him for. Harry Maguire, the thing that happened in Greece, a lot of people saying that people are a bit harsh. Personally, I've always judged Harry Maguire, even before the Greek incident, and said he isn't good enough for Manchester United, but I recognise that he's better than everything we've got. I tried to be as fair and as rational with Harry Maguire, and I haven't abused him. So it's the same with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He scored a magnificent goal against Newcastle, and he put in a magnificent performance against two players who are probably in the top 5 in the world at the moment. Kylian Mbappe, probably one of the best young players in the world. Neymar, I don't really need to say anything about him. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka was able to pocket them. So was Tuanzebe, actually. So pretty good. I think Wan-Bissaka is starting to find the form, which is great for him, you know. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. That has been 5 things we have learnt about Manchester United in the last 2 games. Please do hit that thumbs up on the video, and do not forget to subscribe if you are new. We are making football content on a daily basis, general football content as well as Manchester United. Obviously, we are a Manchester United fan channel, and that is the focus, but there's no discrimination around here. So yeah, it's been your boy Triple M. Enjoy the rest of your day / evening whenever you're watching this, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.